Mark Change Leader Forum and our series on change management as a career. Today, we are delighted to have somebody from the fraternity itself, Pankaj Mohan. He is an OCM expert. Welcome, Pankaj.
Thank you, Sudeshna. Thank you for having me here.
Currently, Pankaj is OCM lead for a leading global technology research and advisory firm. He's a seasoned change management professional with more than 18 years of experience doing large-scale transformations across diversified industries. With his insights on strategy and projects on one side and people-centric approach with using psychology on the other, he's able to ensure that not only project success is there, but also long-term adoption and sustainability. Welcome. Welcome once again.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So just kind of diving straight to what we are here to discuss today. We are here hearing a lot on change management and change success. These words are being used all over. So what is your take of the changes that are happening across?
Sudeshna, change success is no longer a buzzword. It's a mandate. So organizations today are in a constant flux, whether it comes to digital transformations, whether it comes to shifts in consumer behavior, or it's due to economic pressure. As a change professional, I've seen change hinges into one thing, and that is people. You may have the best of strategies, you may have the best of technologies, but if your people are not aligned and motivated, the change will stumble. Right. And I often quote Peter Cotter here, who said transformation is a process, it's not an event. So successful organizations these days just not manage change, they integrate into it into their culture, turn challenges into opportunities for growth. And our role as a change professional is to make people feel empowered and not threatened by this journey.
Okay. So kind of the experience which you are having, like cross industries, are you seeing any particular segment or industry which is more into it, or are you seeing it across?
So without any doubt, industries which are going digital transformation have made change management non-negotiable. Let's say for financial services and healthcare are the topmost ones because it may be because of the regulatory demands that they have or the technological shifts that they are going through. And these have forced organizations to rethink how do they operate. Recently, I was working on a financial services firm and we were doing an ERP implementation where I just noticed that how a robust change management plan ensured that a complex ERP implementation wasn't just about technology. It was more about reimagining how people work. And this reminds me also of Peter Drucker's wisdom, who says, culture eats technology for breakfast. Or rather, I would say it's culture eats strategy for breakfast. Right? So no matter what the industry, the successful change adoption for any change depends upon the people. Clients are now recognize this demand, and they often demand that change management should be built in the DNA of their projects.
Okay, so that's becoming a part and parcel of all changes. Yes. And you being a ERP as well as a digital transformation expert, I would say, you're feeling the pinch even more if it is not if it is not in. But tell me about scale. When we are talking about scale, how does change management, you think, help while when we are like say we are rolling out something over multiple locations or say multiple departments or maybe geographies with different culture?
Oh, yes. So when change spans across multiple geographies and culture, it's critical to go beyond that one size fits all approach. So I have been fortunate enough to lead various change projects across diverse regions. And I've learned there that change management brings invaluable structure in harmonizing efforts. And while globally, it's like honing local nuances. Let me take an example from the project that I've recently led, and it involved teams across Asia and Europe, right? It was not just about translation, but also about cultural alignment. a structured change management approach ensured that we have local leadership styles and communication preferences. And there is a well-researched quote by Prosci which says, right, effective sponsorship at the local level is the number one success factor for change. So engaging local leaders and as advocates and aligning them with the broader vision is how we can bridge the cultural gaps and scale successfully.
Well said, well said. But like we are also kind of understanding the importance leadership plays during change, because usually leaders are not
Right.
equipped to manage change. But yeah, today I think that good to great leaders are the ones who can really maneuver change or be that face of change all the time. So a
In
good
fact, it becomes even more important when your leaders are, geographically spread and they
yeah.
comes from different cultures. That's where change comes into picture, that you understand them and make them comfortable.
Yeah, and people will listen to their leader. So we have to
Exactly.
go by that. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Change management is also helped, as we can say, in sustaining the change itself. Because and so what role can you, like as you say, like you use change management for long term adoption and sustainment. So can you throw a little more light on that?
Well, sustaining change management, at this point of time, the current scenario we are in, it requires embedding it into the organizational fabric. It's all about creating what we call as change muscle memory, the ability to adapt continuously without it feeling destructive. And you to do this, you need three things: strong leadership, consistent communication, and feedback loops. So generally, what we do is we recommend our clients having, establishing a dedicated change management center of excellence where
Mhm.
change management principles are embedded into every project that they undertake. And if as a change management professional, I always advise businesses to invest in long-term, change leadership. And also, Franklin Covey puts it forward when he says that trust is the glue of life. This is the foundation of sustained change. When people trust that leadership is guiding them through change thoroughly and strategically, they remain engaged and resilient.
Sure, because history of change failures can kind of play a little havoc in the new changes
Yeah.
we bring along. So yes, absolutely. Now coming to Pankaj, how did
Mhm.
Pankaj choose change management as a career?
Okay, so this is like exactly 18 years back. And, it's when they say it's your first manager who makes or breaks your career. And I still remember that conversation that I had with my first manager. So I just joined fresh out of an MBA graduate, joining one of the leading banks in India. And then we are having this conversation 1 month, one on one conversation where my just manager realizes, he just said that, Pankaj, I've been observing you for the last 1 month and I've seen that you pretty go well with people. You try to understand them. You try to give them solutions to a lot of problems that they've been facing. Why don't you consider change management as an option, a career as an option? And that's where I think it struck me. And from there, I've never looked back. All my assignments, all my career decisions that I've taken to move on, I think I've always been when it comes to change management. So that's how it has been. And I've been fortunate enough that till date, I've always been led by people or led by leaders who has always inspired me to, give more as a change management professional. So I would not say that I chose it, and then I would rather say, I was made for it. So that's how my manager realized it. Yeah.
Okay, and I think the two three things which you mentioned in which helped you being the great change a leader or a change manager would be, I think, that being that understanding people,
Understandable.
willing to listen to them, right? So that helps a lot during change. I mean, we usually, like in our sessions also, we used to see, like change management as a part of their role. It was never a whole. But now we are slowly seeing that full-time role or the full-time career. So which roles do you think easily move into change management well?
Yeah, so we are already seeing, change management roles that have evolved into a distinct full-time roles in many forward-thinking organizations, right? So the complexity of modern changes, whether they are digital transformations, whether they are cultural shifts, or they are operational restructures, they demand dedicated change management professionals, right? So in our current role also, we are building change management center of excellence, which specifically, for organizations because now they realize that change cannot be afterthought. It has to be along the project, right? And this reminds me of Harvard Business Review, which says the most successful transformations integrate change management as an ongoing function and not as a side project, right? So the future of change management is bright, and we are likely to see more organizations hiring full-time change management professionals at all levels.
Okay. So, that full-time role, or what do you think are the, as you mentioned, that listening, or that knack of understanding people and having that rapport with people helps during change for a change manager. What else would you attribute as good qualities for a change manager?
So, for good qualities, I think professionals in roles like project management, HR, learning and development, and these days people who have been part of communications are well suited for transitioning into a change management role, right? The core skills they bring, such as stakeholder engagement, communication, and strategic, are the skills that we use in change management, right? So I've seen project managers making a very successful transition because they understood the importance of timelines, resource management, and cross-functional collaborations. So, but I always tell whosoever is trying to do that transition into a change management professional that it is not about managing tasks. It is about managing emotions. It's about managing resistance. It's about managing mindsets. And as Williams Bridges said, it isn't the changes that you do, it's the transition. So change management professionals manage those transitions with empathy and strategy. And if you feel that you have this skill set, then nobody can stop you from being a successful change management professional.
Wow, that's I think all our viewers have a very good tip on, who are willing to make or who wants to make this career shift to change management. That's wonderful to hear. And I am seeing the transition in the communications we are having with these with you experts. We are seeing the transition happening from change management to change success. We are saying get your projects right the first time, and part-time roles are one part of your role to becoming a full-time change professional. So you're talking about change management centers of excellence. So yes, it looks the future of change management is pretty bright in becoming a discipline by itself.
In fact, every organization has now realized it's an integral part, and we cannot think about it once the project has taken off or the project is in mid, but it has to rightly start from day one. And that's, I think, and that highlights the importance of change management.
Great. Change is a constant, so why not change management? And change management professionals are here to stay with full-time roles. So, Pankaj, any last your thoughts or your tips for those who want to make a shift to this career as change management?
So, Sudeshna, for anybody who is looking for a shift into change management, my advice is to start small, but be intentional. So get involved in change initiatives within your current role, volunteer to lead communication efforts or training programs, develop a deep understanding of the change frameworks like Prosci, ADKAR, or the Kotler's 8-step process that we have. Networking plays a very crucial role here, right? And you'll agree to this one, right? So connect with change management professionals and seek their mentorship. I think that's the best that you can have, right? And most importantly, I would recommend is embrace the mindset that change isn't about managing projects. It's about leading people. As Dr. Maya Angelou beautifully put it, people will forget what you said and people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And that's the essence of change management, making people feel heard, supported, and empowered.
Thank you. Thank you, Pankaj. That was very enlightening.
Yeah.
So with that, we bring this session to a conclusion. And thank you, Pankaj. I think the insights have been really, really good, and our viewers will greatly benefit from this. So thank you, everybody, for your response to this segment. We understand how useful it is becoming to all of you. And keep viewing our Mark Change Leader Forum. We are going to bring in more experts, bringing in the insights like Pankaj did on change management. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sukeshna, for having me here. Thank you.
Thank you so much.